next on Red Apple 21, a profile of Gunston Elementary School. Meet the students and teachers of this Fairfax County school and see why they think their school is so special. Profile is next on Red Apple 21. Welcome to Profile, Red Apple 21's monthly program on selected schools in Fairfax County. This month we are visiting Gunston Elementary School, where we'll meet the people who make up the school, learn about the special programs and activities that take place throughout the year, and see how the school has become a focal point of the community. Gunston Elementary is the southernmost school in Fairfax County and is located on Gunston Road, the only made road in and out of the Mason Neck area. Some of its neighbors are Gunston Hall, home of George Mason, Pohick Bay Regional Park, and Mason Neck State Wildlife Refuge.
Gunston is a unique school in that it's our southernmost school in the county. We have an interesting community in that the boundaries are Interstate 95, Pohick Bay, the Potomac River, the Occoquan River, and Belmont Bay. From east to west, the school boundaries are almost 7 miles, and from north to south, they're almost 5 miles. So we have a lot of land, which makes one of our unique problems in the school being busing. During the wintertime, I understand that our bus drivers are our lifeline to the community and getting the children to and from school during the bad weather. If one tree falls down anywhere in the community, it affects everyone because Gunston Road is a one road in and out of a majority of our community.
Gunston School was built in the mid-1950s as a one-wing school and was an important part of the community from the beginning.
Oh, I think the Gunston School has been a real focal point of the community from its beginning. We were so proud to get the school here. We were separated from our mother school at Lorton Elementary. And to come across Route 1 and have our own school, I think, meant an awful lot to the community. We had an awful time getting recognized as being a school in the county. When I would go to a principal meeting, I was kind of kidded about being allowed to come out of Prince William County to come to their meetings. That's how remote people saw Gunston. And we were not a financially well-off community. And a lot of PTAs did an awful lot for schools, which they still do. But I know this PTA now is doing so many nice things for the school that we just had to, sell a lot of cakes.
The school has grown a lot since Mrs. Bullia first started there in 1955, and since she retired in 1977. The school now has 530 students, and more expected for next year. All along the way, the community has been very supportive.
I think Gunston has a very strong community spirit. As Mrs. Bullia mentioned when she was talking about the community, the school is really a focal point of the Gunston community. And it's becoming even more so as we start our merger with the Lorton community. The Gunston school community is growing. We've increased our enrollment from last year from 350 to this year 530. And next year we plan on having 600 students. And I think there's a real commitment on behalf of all of the members of the community to keep that small school atmosphere, that cooperative, friendly aura that sometimes you miss when you get a real big school, especially in a big community like this. As far as the miles go, it's a big community. So I think that's something that both the Lorton PTA that has come over to Gunston and the Gunston PTA are really working on. The teachers are committed to this, and when you have that, commitment, I think it can't do anything but succeed. The children are quite friendly, even though some of them don't know each other. They've gotten to know each other quite rapidly, and children who didn't know each other 3 weeks ago are best friends today. I think that's a very important aspect of the school.
Academically speaking, the school is involved in all kinds of things, and this year, special emphasis is being placed on writing and math.
This year, we're emphasizing two specific areas. One is the writing program, kindergarten through 6th grade, and the other program is math computation. The math computation is being supplemented through our stepped-up math program, and our teacher is Mrs. Santiago. Children visit her classroom to work on specific skills where they need help and to get enrichment. And Mrs. Santiago serves as a resource throughout the school to all of the teachers and students. In our writing program, at kindergarten, we have a new kindergarten write-to-read program where the young students are being taught how to use a computer to write and read. This is a program that's being used at two schools in Area 1, Mount Eagle and Gunston, and it's being made possible by IBM. The teachers are being trained, the aides are being trained, and then the children are being trained to use these computers to write, to tell stories, and to read. That's exciting.
At Gunston, classes are planned around an extension program. In the extension program, students are divided into groups that go from their classroom to the computer labs, library, and reading labs, so that everyone takes part in all the learning activities.
The extension program started when we found that there was so much fragmentation in each classroom throughout the day. Children were being pulled out for special ed resource, for speech, for LD, for band, strings, GT, and I know I've probably missed something else. Many different things that the children were being pulled out of instructional groups to attend some special program elsewhere in the building. So the staff took a long, hard look at the problem and came up with a solution. It's called the extension program.
This first grade extension group is working with the reading teacher, Mrs. Jordan, on words in the all family.
Very good. That's outstanding. The horse lives in the stall, and all the words belong to the all family. That was very, very good. You're going to say the word, and then you're going to act it out. What's the word? I like, John, can you do that? Let's let John do it now. What's that word, John? Very good.
Small.
Okay, how do you make it so small? Let's look at the next word.
Tall.
Okay.
I'm on my tippies.
Very good.
The reading program at Gunston combines a basal reading series with library books, plays, novels, and magazines. The teachers also make up special activities, like these finger puppets, to make reading fun.
Our first grade is having its first experience with choral reading in the reading lab with our reading teacher, Mrs. Jordan, and they will be presenting just for their classroom at this time. Later on in the year, they'll be presenting for the whole school.
All right, let's read the title. 5 little pumpkins. 5 little pumpkins sit in the hall. The first one said, I am very small. The second one said, I'm not very tall. The third one said, I have a ball. The fourth one said, I will sit on the wall. The fifth one said, don't fall. Very good. Now let's look at the chart again. Thank you, Jane.
Students at Gunston also spend some of their extension time going to special programs like STEM or the Stepped Up Math program.
The Stepped Up Math program is a Chapter 1 program sponsored through Fairfax County. You might also be familiar with the SULA, Stepped Up Language Arts program. We have only this SUM program, or Stepped Up Math, here at Gunston. And it benefits a lot of the children in their needs to reinforce specific math skills, particularly computational skills, everyday survival math skills, using money, measurement, being able to attack and solve word problems. Children are identified for this class and work with Mrs. Santiago during their extension time, whether it be in an informal setting where they're able to just work in a sort of a center, an informal center, or in a formal setting where the teacher does direct instruction with the children. They seem to enjoy this. We have more children who want to go into the program than we can accommodate, but we try to do this by allowing Mrs. Santiago to serve as a resource to all of the classroom teachers. And she's a busy lady meeting the needs of the classroom teachers.
The older students, like these fourth graders, are divided into extension groups too.
At the upper grades, in our fourth grade, you'll see team teaching where the two fourth grade teachers work together, and they also send children out to extension. So each of those teachers only has one reading group in a classroom at one time. The other group would be in computer instruction, in the library. They might be in band or strings. They might be working with the reading teacher with a special project. So we've cut our fragmentation, I would say, from what it was before we started extensions to now. We've cut fragmentation of the instructional program by at least 90 to 95%. And by fragmentation, I mean fragmenting the child's learning experience every day. A child, anyone finds it difficult to be working on a task and then be pulled out and assigned to another and then have to come back and figure out what went on while they were gone. With this extension program, the children are in the instructional group when they need to be there. And we're very pleased with it and find that it's giving us a lot of positive results.
After social studies, one extension group went to the computer lab, where they worked on the Turtle Top program. The students enter commands and move the turtle along a path. The computers are also used for reading and writing activities at all levels.
I want you to power up using the disk drive today so that you get experience using that. What is the first thing you're going to turn on when we're using the disk?
The monitor.
The monitor, good. What's the second thing we're going to turn on?
Disk drive.
Disk drive, good. If you will go ahead and turn those on, I'll get you your disks.
Well, in the computer lab, you get to make things all shapes and sizes, and you get to learn how to make different designs, and sometimes you get to play with the computer, and sometimes you put things on the disk to save.
The extension groups also spend time in the library reading, working on library skills and special projects, and taking part in other activities.
I do a number of things in the library. I try to have centers for the kids to come in and use when they have some free time. I do library skills, which means I teach the students how to use the library, all the AV equipment. I encourage browsing, and I try to spend a good deal of time finding the right book for the children. Then they pass that on to their friends, and everyone is eagerly coming into the library seeking help to find books that they'll love.
Sometimes we listen to stories, and sometimes we write out things, and sometimes we have to do tests.
I like the library because it's got a lot of information on reports in it, so you can do good reports.
Some of the older grades, and they go to the back of the library and watch movies. in the back of the library. And then after they do that, sometimes they get to draw pictures and read books and do book reports.
The Gunston Library is really neat. It even has a bathtub the kids sit in while they read.
The first and second graders, they can use it for when they're reading. About two or three kids can get in there while they're silent reading in the bathtub.
From reading in the bathtub to seeing Old MacDonald's animals come alive, the library looks like a really fun place to learn.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm he had a E-I-E-I-O, with a oink oink here and a here an oink, there an oink, everywhere an oink oink. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O. And what sound does a cow make? With a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there. Here a moo, there a moo, everywhere a moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
One thing that makes the library and all the rest of Gunston School so great is the volunteers from the community who contribute their time to the school.
I'm Adele Malkin. I'm volunteer library chairman here at Gunston Elementary School Library. And I've been working here in the library for the past 2 years. This is my third year here. Basically, I do any kind of clerical work that's needed in the library, which I think is a very important role for volunteers here in the school that allows the teachers more time to spend teaching.
Our volunteers are so important to us. This year we have about 125 who have volunteered to help in many different ways. We have a volunteer coordinator who works with me in meeting the needs of the teachers as they arise. Some of the things that they do are working with the Great Books program in grades 2 through 6. They help in the library. Every day we have a volunteer working in the library to help with checkout, with overdue list on the computers, and just generally assist the librarian, because she has extension groups also, so it helps extend the library to the children. We have volunteers who work in cut and paste. They just come in the building and do whatever the teacher needs to have done. We have a lot of parents who volunteer to be chaperones on field trips. We have many who have volunteered to help with the various PTA activities that go on throughout the school year. And some of the parents who find it difficult to come in and volunteer because of working schedules have found it convenient to volunteer by doing typing at home, copying things for teachers, making charts. Parents who have young children at home and can't come to school have volunteered their service to babysit for those volunteers who can come to school. So it's a real cooperative effort. And without our volunteer program, I think we really would see a void in our instructional day.
Gunston really looks like a great place to go to school. Everyone has a positive attitude, and the students are really excited about learning. We asked some of the students what they liked most about their school.
Our teacher tries to make the work fun because we have vocabulary words and we write the definitions for them, and we have to illustrate a picture for each one of them.
Well, the library has a lot of books for elementary. The computer lab has a lot of computers, and they made the school a lot better by the new pod.
Well, I like the playground, and I like some of the activities they have at school, and they have a lot of things to do. And that's about it.
Well, I like Gunston Elementary because it has a new pod, the new section.
Because there's a new pod, I like the lunch here, and all the teachers are nice, including Dr. Henderson.
I think it's special because it has more room, and there's more teachers to get to know.
Well, I like this school better than my other school because it has a new pod, and it's a bigger school, has a better playground, and there's a computer lab and there's a bigger library. Everybody in our class get along okay, and all our teachers are nice.
Along with all the things just mentioned, Gunston also has lots of special activities that the kids enjoy.
Okay, Gunston has a fun fair, and it comes up every year. And we can work in it, and we can have the cleanup crew. And that's why I like the fun fair.
We have the balloon launch, and we have where everybody buys a balloon for 50 cents, and they throw it up in the air out on the blacktop, and then we put a little tag on it that says your name, your grade, and your address and your phone number, and they send it back to school, and you get a prize if you get a prize if your balloon was found.
These pictures are from the school calendar, which is another fun school-wide activity. Drawings were submitted for the calendar, and when it was printed, it was sold as a fundraiser for the school. The school also has special assemblies for each grade level. These third graders were practicing for their assembly that took place at the end of October.
Boots in the attic, ghost in the park, slithery black cats that hiss in the dark, comical scarecrows, hobgoblins near. These are the charms that Halloween's near.
Each grade level has an assembly at some time during the year so that the children have the opportunity to present something that they've learned, and it also gives the parents an opportunity to come in and see some of the culminating activities that are going on throughout the building.
Dr. Henderson and all the teachers want everyone to be excited about school, and these special programs get everyone involved.
I think Gunston's fortunate to have an outstanding staff. I tend to look at a group of teachers or an individual teacher and say to myself, would I want my child in this teacher's classroom? And I look throughout the school in every classroom and every little nook and cranny where we have small groups, and there's not one person in this building I wouldn't be proud to have my child working with at any time. We truly are fortunate in this respect. And the teachers have a great commitment, not only to the academic instruction, but to the need of the child to feel a great deal of self-worth. We work on motivating children to want to learn, to be proud about what they're doing, to be happy with themselves, to get along with each other, and to want to share what they've done and take a great deal of pride in the work that has been accomplished. We do this in all different ways. We have a counseling resource teacher who works with small groups of children who may need some help in dealing with a particular problem. The counseling resource teacher is available to parents. She is available to answer questions that children might have about where they could get assistance doing one thing or another.
I'm Jackie McDaniel, the counseling resource teacher here at Gunston. This is the 4th year of the program at our school. And the program is designed to extend a hand to all students, not just the student who may be troubled or be having special difficulties. The program is divided primarily into 3 areas of service. The first one is guidance in the classrooms, and that's total class instruction with guidance lessons perhaps on study skills, communication, interpersonal relationships. Then I do small group counseling with groups of students on a short-term basis for maybe 4 to 5 weeks on interpersonal relationships, self-concept. We're doing something on friendship right now, for example, with a group of students. And then there's individual counseling with students primarily who are fairly troubled and having personal problems. Now the students are all either referred by the classroom teacher, their parents often refer them, or I just pick up on them in some way and, of course, talk with the parents before we do any counseling. One of the fun things I do once a week is have lunch with a group of students. And I put a sign-up sheet in a classroom that goes for a 4-week period. And students may sign up to have lunch with me, usually every Thursday. And we just meet in here and just have a real informal chat and talk to each other about things and just enjoy ourselves, and sort of the things I especially like about my job. Is it hard being in the middle, Bevan?
Yeah, because I mean, your parents always depending on you more than the older person and then the younger person. So you gotta do that.
I like being the youngest.
Why,
I
Shannon?
like being the youngest in my family, because my mom and my dad always push around my sister and says, "Go take out the garbage, Jennifer."
And you don't have to do things
Nope.
like that.
I like having lunch with other teachers to get them to know them and to talk with other teachers, and it's nice to get away from the cafeteria sometimes.
Dr. Henderson wants everyone to get involved. That's why she welcomes students to her office at all times, for things like reading the morning announcements.
Happy birthday to Kevin Savage in the afternoon kindergarten, who is 5 years old today. The riddle for today is, what is a ghost's favorite food? What is a ghost's favorite food?
We try to encourage the children to get involved not only with the teacher and with the class, but with the principal. And I like to have them come into my office and read with me. I enjoy coming into the classrooms and seeing what they're doing. I think we have a very happy school, and everybody has that attitude when they walk in the building. You can sort of feel it.
To the students, the staff, and the community, Gunston Elementary is a very special school. Working together, making friends, learning and growing. These are the things that make any school a special place. And for the principal, teachers, the parent volunteers, and the students of all ages, there's no place they'd rather be.